does is that he has given us a representation, I would say, of an iceberg. Okay, so I'll try to explain it by using the image of an iceberg. So imagine there is an iceberg. Now the top part, which can be easily seen, is the conscious mind, which we are actually aware of, which we actually can put forth, or we can actually talk about it. That is called as the conscious mind. So this conscious mind contains all the thoughts, memories, feelings, and wishes of of which we are aware at that present moment. Okay, so in this way, this is the, I would say, the basic aspect of our mental processing which takes place, and that we can think and talk about rationally through the conscious mind. And this also includes our memory, which is not always a part of our consciousness, but it can be retrieved easily and brought into awareness if it is somewhere in our subconscious, or it is not exactly very outward and cannot be easily seen. So this all exactly is about what goes on into the conscious mind. Now the unconscious mind, if you're talking about, is a reservoir, I would say, and a reservoir of feelings, or one's urges, thoughts, and memories that are really really very outside, quite outside of our conscious awareness. So what the unconscious contains contents that are not very unacceptable or unpleasant, such as feelings of pain, conflict, or anxiety. uh, Now through this iceberg, what he has tried to explain is that the part of the iceberg that is submerged below the water, but is still visible, is the preconscious. And he tries to explain is that it is not there, it is not that it is not easily accessible. You can access it, but is not quite dominant. The conscious mind is on the forefront and works regularly, whereas the unconscious and subconscious mind are really something which you need to come ahead with, like focus on them, come ahead with them, and go ahead with that. So these are the three levels of mind which Freud had explained beautifully. And I think so I am able to answer your question. If
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
any
yeah.
I would also like to add that you asked that how can we use that subconscious mind when we are, dealing with a lot of daily situations. So I might say that as we are saying that the thoughts you are giving yourself are turning into your emotions, or that are reflecting your behavior. So when we say that if you are subconsciously, or when there are a lot of books which say that if you keep yourself, or if you keep telling yourself the things that you want to achieve, or the vision board and everything. So what you're doing here basically is that you're providing yourself with those positive thoughts, you're providing yourself with that positive, what I can say, stimulus, which is motivating you to do a lot of good and positive behaviors that are really helping you in your life. So this is the way maybe it can be explained when it comes to practical situations.
yeah
Great, great.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Also, I would like to add 2 points to what Shruti said and what Anita said. So, conscious mind is also what you are aware of. So, to simply tell, it's like I know that I'm talking to you. Okay, and what Pranita said, I would like to just tell it metaphorically, is that the subconscious mind is the boss, and the conscious mind is a employee. So you already know what things are going, but you're not aware of it. So when you give yourself the commands repetitively, it stores, and you know that you are going to make it a reality. So the repetition gives you the power to do that in the conscious way. So by repeating,
Right.
you tell your subconscious, the boss tells your conscious mind, the employee, that you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that is how the things happen in a realistic way. Also, to answer Tanish's question, what is the difference between negative healthy and the negative unhealthy emotions? Is that negative healthy emotions are something that do not harm you. So I feel sad is not going to harm me. So it's a negative healthy emotion. But when the sadness turns into depression, when it is affecting your daily working, that is when it becomes an unhealthy emotion. So you need to recognize that when the negative healthy emotion turns into your negative unhealthy emotion. So anger is fine, but aggression is not. So you need to have this awareness of recognizing when the negative healthy emotion turns into an unhealthy emotion. Yeah.
Perfect. Amazing. So, so if
Also,
you wish,
there's
I
a
can
question
also
in the
say,
chat. Yeah.
okay, that in the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy says that the complete ship is the subconscious mind, and the sailor is the conscious mind. So your conscious mind ultimately directs the big ship, which is the subconscious mind, and take you wherever you want. Thank you so much. So, Sushil.
Yeah. So no, there's a question in the chat. Shruti, Pranita, can you answer
Yeah,
that question?
let me check.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so can you just ask me the question yourself so that it will be easier to understand what exactly you want to? Okay, so basically the first question here I can see is that what should someone do if they have no interest in doing anything? So basically you have to, first see that why you are not feeling interested in doing something. If it is of a very, it's been a very, very long time, there's a certain period of time, it's a very long time, you're not feeling interested in doing something, that might be a problem. And I might suggest that you should take some professional help. But if it is only limited to one aspect or one area, that you don't feel like doing anything at home, but when you're going out, when you're attending college, or when you're doing something else which you might like, you have proper interest, then there's no issue, I feel. You just need to recognize that which place is it that you're feeling that you don't have interest in doing anything, and you have to recognize that what it is exactly. For example, if I'm not feeling like doing anything at home, so is it related to anything that is going on in my home? Is it related to any issues that are linked to my house? And due to that I'm feeling, you have to recognize that first, and then you will be able to understand what you have to do and how you have to deal with that.
I'd like to add. Can you hear me?
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Please, can you
yeah,
introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Ruta Mahapankar.
Oh, hi.
So I'd like to
Sarita.
add to Pranita's answer.
Sure, sure.
So yeah, obviously, definitely asking yourself, like, what's in the current situation that might be, causing this disinterest is one way to go, which really helps many times. Second thing is, like, now suppose if I'm not feeling to do anything, so maybe I can first start with my hobbies and, ask myself, ki, why am I not feeling like doing this? So at times, watching something on YouTube or some other places related to your activity can help you, create that small spark of motivation, which might later on help you to, at least take a first step towards doing it. Yeah, that's one thing you can do. And another thing is, in the current situation there are so many things that are going on, because of which, we are literally, like lost interest in every little thing. Motivation to bilkul bhi nahi hai kidhar bhi. So for that, you can try up. The thing is, everything is going in this one specific routine currently. So maybe you can just spice up a bit of in your routine, and कुछ नई चीजें try कर सकते हो आप. You can try to, find a new interest. Try to understand yourself more. या फिर, the more you get to know yourself, it might help to create interest in something else, and eventually you will be able to go back to things. I hope
I would
Amazing.
that.
also like to add something to that, is that a lot of time it happens that you have been doing so many things, and you have been busy so much, and you have taken up so many activities at a time. After that, you get so burdened or stressed that after a point you feel like I don't want to do anything right now. So I think if you're feeling it, just see that you are not feeling it, there excuse me for a minute. Let me put it in a much better way. That if I'm doing a lot of things for a longer period of time, I'm struggling in a lot of activities, job, college, and everything. I might feel very, tired and burdened, even emotionally. At that time, I think if you're not feeling interested, it's okay to give yourself that time. It's okay to not do anything and just, give yourself that space to, relax, to calm yourself down. And I think that might also help you.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Does this answer your question, Arya? It was Arya, right?
It's Arya, and yes.
Arya, okay. Sure. Great. We have the responses. Thank you. So, this was amazing. Thank you so much. Siddhi has something to say. Happy faces.
So hi everyone, I am Siddhi, and we at the Experience are very excited to make an announcement today. From next month, or probably this month, as soon as we can organize everything, we are introducing a platform where all of you can come together, and we're going to have a community meet. So all of you who have to talk about something and you don't have anyone to talk to, and you just want to have someone who listens. So we are going to organize and give you all a platform where all of us can come together and talk to each other about what is disturbing. So this is going to happen twice in a month, and for that we will tell you the details, and you might have to register with us or you have to take our membership. So because all of you are here, we're making an announcement here. The official announcement will be really out very soon, and we thought that to spread awareness about what mental health is, and also to normalize mental health issues, it is very important for us as a youth to come together and talk about it. I am sure that there is a generation gap between us and our parents, and over a period of time there are a lot of changes going on where people are not able to understand each other. And I wouldn't say that we as youth are wrong, or the generation previous to us is wrong, because obviously the nature and the environment that they have grown up in is going to be extremely different to ours. But if they cannot understand us, or if they cannot empathize with us, it is important for us to be there for each other. And with this platform, we want more and more people to join in and to talk about it, to spread the awareness, and also to feel belonged to a community where people do not judge each other, and which believes that it is okay to not be okay. It is very important to understand that we are human and each one of us are going to have problems. And in a world where everyone wants to be cool and want to be a part of a yo clan, it is extremely important to be mature, to understand that we are going to have problems. We do have emotions, and it is mature to talk about how we feel. So this is a platform from us to all of you to connect, to normalize mental health, and openly talk about each other and be there for each other. So I hope all of you join in, and if you have any queries, any suggestions, please let us know. Also, this is not just going to be a platform. We are going to offer a lot of things to you. And there are going to be activities, there are going to be discussions. It is not just about discussing and sharing each other's problems. It is also going to be about spreading positivity. Also, I'm very happy to also tell you that I have been certified as a therapist from the International Association of Therapists. So yes, it is also going to be about educating each other, sharing experiences, and being there for each other. So thank you so much. And
Thank you so much.
I hope that all of you be a part of this initiative. Thank you.
This was amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Pranita. Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you so much, Emotional Wellbeing Helpline, for this complete session. I'd like to personally say that I myself, I'm a client of Emotional Wellbeing Helpline. Like I have, um, these people are very qualified and they can help you out in any matter. They listen to any stupid thing that you say and also give you a solution. Like I personally uh, have been through some quarantine depression lately, and these guys have helped me out. Thank you so much. So you can always call them. They have always got your back. Just like they are always there for you.
I
And
Okay,
just
thank you
want
so.
to
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
say that you just said that they can listen to any stupid things. Anything that you want to express or that you feel is not stupid. Everything is fair, and it's
Hey,
always better to express those. Don't say that it's very stupid. It
I'm
can
sorry.
be
I'm sorry.
anything. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
I would just like to say something. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, so like in today's world, the bravest word you will hear is help. And all of you guys who have organized this right now, this webinar, and you have been like doing it like since months now, it's it's just amazing what you guys are doing, and you're
Thank
just
you
like
so much.
encouraging us to pour things out that we really can't, okay? And you're just like being there, and that means a lot, okay? Just thank you everyone for like arranging this.
Also, I hope that all of you who are present here and have been through the right from the start of the session, I feel like now you don't discriminate, or you don't, stop talking to someone who is trying to open up with you and who is trying to, share his emotions and make you a space of his world. So I just hope that uh, next time if someone tells you that I need help, or I want you to be there for me, or you get to know that someone is facing anxiety or is extremely sad, you be there for the person. It is not just important to attend such sessions, but actually inculcate it in your daily routine. So please
Yeah,
Right.
Siddhi,
understand this.
okay, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
like
go ahead.
everyone is going to do that, Siddhi, because like you have not only helped us like analyze our problems, solve our problems, or deal with it, but everyone here, I am sure that they are mature enough. So like if anyone goes to them and asks for help, they're surely going to help them with whatever problems they have.
I
Because
think
now
this
we
is
know
the
how to
biggest
handle things.
I think this is the biggest accomplishment that we have got today, or
Exactly.
since the
This
work that we have been doing. This is really
Yeah,
this
amazing.
is
yeah, and yeah, we are
this
so
compliment
grateful
means a
for
lot
actually
to
all
us.
the
Thank you
support.
so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you so
Also,
much.
Xiaomi, yeah. Also, Xiaomi, you have to do the
Yeah.
whole thing, right?
Yes.
So everyone,
Yeah, I
we
would
do
just
this
say that.
small thing. Like everyone can just switch on, turn on their cameras, and we just click a picture.
Tanish, can I just
Um,
add something to what Siddhi said right now?
Yeah,
Can I just
sure,
add
sure,
something if we have
Yes.
time?
sure. Always. Yeah, we
Yeah, yeah.
have time. You can
Okay,
talk.
yeah. So what Siddhi said was very true, that you need to seek help. You need to go to your friends, family, relatives, and ask for help if anything arises. But we just had a live session yesterday, and as mental health, as people who are working with in these fields, I feel it is really important to channelize these people to the right source. Looking at what events have taken place this week, especially talking about that, there are a lot of people who are coming up, putting out posts, putting out stories, saying that I am there for you, we are there for you, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Them These might be people who have no idea at all about what mental health is, have no idea about that, how you can deal with a person who has come up with stress, anxiety, or any basic issues for that matter. So more than of course you should be listening to these people if they have something to say to you, but more than that, what you can do is you can actually guide them probably to the right source, because not everyone is qualified, or not everyone is has those skills to actually listen to the person, and
Right.
many a times this happens. And we in this field have many a times seen this, that people are misguided. So even if there is nothing wrong, in what people are telling you, suggestions do take place. Going to a friend and going to a counselor is way different. These are two completely different worlds. So what Siddhi said was extremely correct, that you need to seek help. But if you are not professional, if you're not well trained in it, it is the best advice to go ahead and let that person to lead that person to someone who is really good in that field, and ask them to seek help, more than listening to that person and sharing your own opinions. This is the best way in which you can help that person. And through the emotional well-being helpline, this is what we are actually doing. So
Yes.
this is so, as you all know, as Shushrut also mentioned in our introduction, that we are just students who have completed our masters in clinical psychology. Saying this, we are not professionally trained. We are, of course, new in the field. We are still learning in the process. We are not completely professional to carry out therapies, or even more than that, we are not professionally trained as yet. But hence, the base of the emotional well-being helpline are our psychologists and our psychiatrists, which are backed up in our helpline. So whenever we come across a situation which we think personally, as psychologists, we are not that much capable to deal with, we always push forward that person to some professional who has worked, who has experience of a lot of years in that field, and who works there. And then he or she can manage that person, or treat that person in a proper way. So if
Right.
as mental health professionals, even after studying psychology for so many years, if we are still not be able to handle few cases, then it is very, very difficult for people who have no knowledge about it to deal with it. So it's so more than listening to people, guide them. This is what my understanding is, and this is what is the main thing of emotional well-being helpline also. That's
Right.
just I wanted to say. Yeah.
Amazing.
That is absolutely right. And I guess it's time. It's been a long time we are here now. So could you please just turn on your camera?
I'm really sorry to disturb you. There was
Fine.
one more question in the chat box. Can you explain D in the ABCD module again?
Okay, so basically D is where it stands for disputing. So when you understand what event took place, and you understand the thought or belief that you have put behind it and the consequence of it, it is very important to question or dispute or reframe that thought. So when I'm saying that you're disputing against the thought, it means that you're questioning the thought. So that I'm asking that is this belief or is this thought actually true? If I'm saying that I'm hurt and somebody shut me out, that I'm not a good person and nobody loves me, is it actually true? Are there no people around me who actually love me? It's not possible that way. So it's very important to dispute or reframe your thoughts. So you, rather than saying that nobody loves me, you can say that okay, this person right now is not capable to do things for me for as of now, but I am sure that in future and even in past he has done those things for me, she has done those things for me. And that way it will really help you to change your emotions, and it will affect your emotions. So that's all about this.
I have an example to explain this. So I had a case yesterday where the girl, she was feeling the grief of the loss of her friend, of her best friend, and when he passed away, she wasn't there. And 2 months before that, also she was not there for her friend, and she was feeling the grief. So he had to go. He had to, get a liver transplant and a kidney transplant, and the liver wasn't available in any organ donation institute for him. So even she contacted the doctors in US to see if any liver is available, but he passed away and she was still feeling the grief. All this while, what her belief was that I didn't do my best and I was not there for my friend and his family. And it was so much that even after a year, she was still in the self-depreciation mode where she was guilty about it. So now the D in the model is to make her understand that she did everything she could. So the D actually helps to show her a reality or the rational way through which she can, through which we can help her to understand that she did everything that was possible, and to help her, get out of the guilt of not doing her best for her friend. So I hope that that is what the D is in the model. So I hope that you understand ABCD
Yeah.
now.
Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
Even we thank you all for being here today and being so kind to us, and for being patient for so many hours with us, and
No,
being
it was
really
really
and
very useful,
for
and thank you
you
for
the
arranging
future
it.
experience.
Guys,
And
you have a brilliant initiative. You're doing some
yes,
really
yes,
amazing work,
thanks
and
a
we are so
lot.
grateful that we could have you here. And this was a wonderful opportunity for us as well. So we thank you from all our heart, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you for having
Thank you
us.
so much.
Thank you for
Yeah.
having us.
Thank you.